Okay, so if you caught my last video, as I was compressing the piston on this rear passenger brake caliper, I started seeing brake fluid oozing out of the boot that was around the caliper piston. No bueno. So rather than trying to go in there and repair it, I just decided to buy a whole new caliper and swap it out for this broken one. I decided the fastest option to get me a caliper was to order one on Advanced Auto Parts. This is just the standard run-of-the-mill generic caliper. If it was my personal car, I would have gotten an OEM caliper, probably through ECS Tuning, which is where all the other parts came from. But at this point, I just wanted to get something quick, just to get this car on the market so we can sell it and hopefully make a couple bucks on it. But at this point, with all the time I've spent, I'm not convinced that it really was worth my time. But hopefully you guys got some good information out of this little series, so we'll go with that. All right. Good, we get all of the inserts. It's a nice, shiny brake caliper and carrier. What we got here in this spring mechanism here, that is the emergency brake, or parking brake rather. That we're going to have to physically remove the cable from the old one, install in the new one. Then the brake line is going to go into this spot here. We've got a new banjo bolt, I believe is what it's called. We'll reinstall that, put the new rotor on, then install the caliper carrier. This should be pretty straightforward because we are opening up the brake line system when we transfer the brake hose over to the new caliper. We are opening it up for the possibility of air to go back into the system. For that reason, we're going to want to bleed the brakes. With all that said, if you're still with me, let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is just take the caliper carrier off of this caliper just so it's ready to go once we remove the old caliper. I'm looking at this and this actually does say VW AG, Volkswagen Auto Group, I believe, and Bosch, so this might be a refurbished OEM part. So it seems to be good quality, should do the job. Okay. Caliper carrier, caliper. So this will be ready to replace this caliper once we get it disconnected from brake system. I'm going to try to limit the amount of time that the brake line is open. I'll just want to have everything ready to go, swap it all over. But at this point, I need to disconnect the parking brake and then disconnect the brake line. There's that. There we go. Now I just need to remove this brake line. I do want to note that I did go under the hood and I closed the fluid reservoir. If I didn't, that would just allow air to pour in and fluid would just stream out. This way there's back pressure and hopefully we don't lose a lot of fluid in the process. You'll start to see fluid seeping out. Okay, quickly go in here, copper washer. All right, at this point we've got the emergency brake, parking brake cable hooked back up. We've got this brake line connected back to the caliper. It's no longer dripping. I don't think that it's fully crushed that washer. I need to torque it to spec, but without it secured to the hub, I can't get enough torque while holding on it. So what we'll do is once we install all this stuff, we'll make sure to go back and torque that, make sure it's torqued to spec.
I was hoping to be done with this vehicle after the last few videos. We got the brakes done, we got caliper installed on the right rear. So off camera, I bled the brakes all the way around, and I was still getting a soft pedal. That's got to get fixed before we sell it. So right now, I'm going to replace the master cylinder and then bleed the brakes. We'll cycle the ABS unit using the OBD11 tool, and hopefully that fixes the issue. So let's get into it, and hopefully we can sell it after this video.